Hey, ladies and gentlemen, KocoSports.com proudly presents Wrestle AM. It's half wrestling show, half morning show, pretty much all BS. And of course, you got half the Koco crew here holding it down live. Yours truly, sexiest man on all Internet Wrestling Radio. Boom Boom here, shaking the room live from the RVA, Richmond, Virginia. And of course, joining me there way across the pond, he's the man who works harder than a Pensacola stripper. Talking about none other than LK. What's up, buddy?
I'm doing great. I'm doing splendid. This show was 17 million times better than the Raw from last night. The Raw from last night, it took me 10 minutes to say anything positive about the show. Here, I enjoyed the majority. I did miss the opening 20 minutes.
You're going to regret that one.
I am going to go back and watch AJ Styles murder James Ellsworth, and it's going to be a very happy moment for me, and I might save it for Christmas. I might save that for Christmas on Christmas Day. Just pop open AJ Styles killing James Ellsworth. But I started when The Miz came out for the IC title match with Apollo Crews. So Booms, obviously, win, loss, or tie, everyone in temperature will get your comments later on the night. I gave the show a weak win. Booms, what'd you give it? Win, loss, or tie?
I'm going to give it a win. There were some things I didn't like, and of course, I'll get to that in just a little bit later. But overall, I liked it. There was some stuff that made me scratch my head. There was some stuff that made me kind of curious, and there was some other stuff that just made me face palm. So, but we'll go through that. So starting out here is we finally get the match that we've had to wait 3 weeks for: AJ Styles versus James Ellsworth. Now, of course, AJ suffered an injury at the pay-per-view to his ankle. The next Tuesday, he was unable to compete. Last Tuesday, he was still unable to compete, so they finally had it. So the match itself wasn't very long. I mean, this was, I don't even think they hit a minute in this match, to be honest. They immediately brought out AJ Styles. They immediately brought out Ellsworth. They did the introductions. They rang the bell, and Styles just murdered him. There was no shenanigans, no Dean Ambrose, no outside interference. It was just what you think would happen if, Ellsworth legitimately challenged AJ Styles. AJ Styles just, he stopped a super kick attempt and then just hit him with that flurry of kicks and punches and missed with that roundhouse fist, but hit him again. He pinned him, got the win, and then Styles proceeds to murder Ellsworth on the outside of the ring. Throwing him back and forth. He dropped him like a sidewalk slam across the announcer's desk. He threw him into the steel right there at the apron skirt, then catapulted him up. The crowd was eating it up. It looked like AJ was about to walk off, but instead he went back, did a snap suplex into the barricade. They had to bring out a stretcher, and that was the opening segment. And I enjoyed it, probably not as much as you're going to enjoy it, but I thought it was entertaining.
I'm saving that for Christmas Day. I'm generally saving that for Christmas Day because I want to enjoy James Ellsworth, that jobbing sack of shit, to get pummeled, beaten, bruised, and battered. I just pray this is his battering out of the world title scene. I'll be very, very angry if James Ellsworth this time next week is still this high up the card. Like, he needs to get his ass out down to the mid-card now.
Let me ask you this. Okay, let's just say if you could be impartial here and you're on the SmackDown writing team, what do you do with Ellsworth? You have to use him because you've got him signed to a WWE contract. You have to use him. So what do you do to get the most out of him to where you can put eyeballs on the screens, butts in the seats, and people fork out money for merchandise? What do you do?
I would have... Okay, so next week, we don't have an IC title match. I'd have James Ellsworth somehow, by doing something, like the other writers can come up with that. Get James Ellsworth versus Miz. Miz accepts only if he wins. He's the one who now owns James Ellsworth. He owns his contract, he owns everything. And then have James Ellsworth as a babyface be with the Miz. So Miz, when Maurice gets sent out, he's the one who's got to do that dastardly thing. He's got to do the heel thing. Okay. He has to be a heel. He doesn't want to be. And the crowd are like, no, turn. Hit the Miz. And Miz is like, go on, hit me. I dare you. I dare you to hit me. And I will get your contract. I'll rip up in front of you and throw it in the bin and put it on fire. And then have a match at WrestleMania. Ellsworth versus The Miz. If Ellsworth wins, he gets his contract back to SmackDown. Also, just give him something to do.
Okay, I
Not
mean
waste that
that's an
money.
idea, and of course, if you're with the internet infantry, what would you do? I mean, how would you book James Ellsworth? Now, I mean, you've got him out of the title picture. You have to do something with him because he signed to a contract. So this isn't like, okay, send him home now. I mean, he signed. I mean, you have to use him. So, what would you do to make I guess not to make him and WWE like a complete total fucking schmuck? Is what would you do? So down here over here in the chat room, down here in the comment section, let me know what you think. What's your idea? Please let me know. Immediately afterwards, Dolph Ziggler came out, reminding AJ Styles about his upcoming title shots, and Styles, immediately plugging, goes, you know what? All I'll need is one shot to beat you, and it kind of a little jawing back and forth. This brings out Baron Corbin. Now Baron Corbin actually did pretty good tonight. He said, he called him a little man. He said, he doesn't steal the show, he steals opportunities and he wastes them. And then this leads to probably one of the most bizarre things, because later on in the night, they talk about Daniel Bryan trying to calm down Ziggler. Ziggler wants to fight Corbin. Makes sense because, remember he just insulted him. He punched him in the face, hit him with end of days. So, yeah, he's pissed. So he does something what I think is dumb is he goes, you know what? I want to face Baron Corbin and I want to put my championship match on the line here. And, and I think that, and here's the reason why I think that's dumb, because I think if he would have said, hey, I want to face Corbin, Corbin may have taken him up on his opportunity. Or maybe if you're going to do that, you needed to have it to where Ziggler wanted to fight, Corbin. There's people, pulling Ziggler apart, keeping him away from Corbin. It's like, I want a match with you right now. I want a match with you tonight. He's like, no, I don't have to fight you. I'm not going to face you. And he's like, okay, well, what if I put my championship? Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. But, I mean, that would be like me going, you know what? I don't like LK. LK, I'm going to give you $500 to fight me. Whereas, I could have gone, hey, okay, will you fight me? And he was like, yeah. Okay, good. I didn't lose $500 there. Now I'm like a fucking schmuck because when he would have fought me for free, I have to pay him $500. So who looks like a bigger dumbass? And that's why I think he looks like a dumbass because he didn't challenge Corbin.
Yeah, and if it was like a Miz or someone like that who's a chicken shit heel would have made sense, but Corbin's a monster heel. Corbin wants to fight Ziggler, so it didn't make any sense. I didn't watch that bit. I literally came just during the Miz's entrance, so I don't want to comment on it because I didn't watch it. Much like TNA, if you don't watch it, don't comment. Anyway, move on. Boom moves.
All right, next here we have Apollo Crews versus The Miz, the Intercontinental Championship on the line here. They kind of flash back to last week with Gabriel Iglesias with tribute to the troops. Apollo Crews actually looking pretty good in this match, but he gets thrown in the corner. Maurice looks like she's going to go in and maybe rake the eyes with her hands, but she gets caught by the referee. Referee tosses her out. There was one point where it looked like Crews was going to do a backdrop suplex, but the Miz rolls out of it, accidentally hits the referee or grazes him enough to make him turn his head. He pokes Crews right in the eye. That gives him just enough opportunity to hit the skull-crushing finale. He gets the win. I liked it. By the way, I will say this. I think Miz is the best heel on SmackDown, period. I'm not a huge Miz fan, but I will give the devil his due. I do think he's the best heel on there. I think Crews, I think with the fact that they had the shenanigans is the only really helped save him. But, I'm going to go bring up another point later. But what did you think about the match real quick? Because there's a lot more stuff we need to bring up. But what do you think?
I like the match. There was nothing wrong with it. I mean, David Otunga calling this Apollo Crews' breakout year is embarrassing and a joke, and the fact he is on commentary is an embarrassment and a joke. So apparently, according to this, Crews earned a title match by beating Miz on the tribute. I didn't watch that show because I feel uncomfortable. But, I mean, Mike, I like the fact that they tried to save the Miz protect Apollo Crews by having Miz cheat to win and progressing his heel character. But in the end of the day, you just had Crews get an IC title match again, lose to the Miz again, and now what the fuck is he going to go do? There's nothing for him to do. Like, get him with a fucking tag partner. Get him with a tag partner and do something with him there. Like, at least with Cesaro and Sheamus, they were doing nothing with either man. Put them together as a team. Just you are wasting a fucking talented guy in Apollo Crews. Yes, he has the charismatic of a fucking teaspoon. Yes, his promo work is as good as TJ Perkins. But the guy can go in the ring. So put him with a guy who can fucking talk. Unbelievable.
You know, when it comes, and this is one point I was going to bring up, Cruz, I don't think he's bad. I just think he's just not booked correctly. I just think he needs some help. What would you say about this? Now that Zack Ryder's out, you got Mojo Rawley, just
right, no, right. I know where you're going. I'm not here. I'm not listening. I don't want to hear Zack Ryder mentioned. I don't want to hear him brought up. I don't want to hear him talked about. No. I will not have you talk about Mojo Rawley teaming up with Apollo Crews. I will not have... What are they going to be called? What's Vince going to call them? A racist term came into my head and I did not say it because we are politically correct. If that's one thing I can't stand is when you're at work and you make some sort of joke. Like I made a brutal World War II joke today. A brutal World War II joke. Oh, you're not allowed to say that. Oh, you can't say that. Why can't I say that? Because you're not allowed. No, it's opinion. Okay? I'm making a joke. Laugh. Okay? But it may have been funny, but it might have hurt someone's feelings. Who am I going to fucking hurt? There is no one's feelings to... Oh, it drives me insane. I can't... You do not, I hate so many people in this world. It's not actually healthy. I think I need to see a chiropractor or a physician or something along those lines, because literally at work, say there's about 80 staff, I hate at least 65 of them. And they don't even know I hate them. I just don't talk to them. It's literally, oh, where's this manager? I don't care. I generally do not. I hate so many people. It's not actually healthy. It's this anger from Monday Night Raw just builds and builds and builds, and from Roadblock, and it's I legit hate so many. I hate half of my own fucking family, and they've done nothing wrong. I just am such a. I hate so much. I generally I'm so shocked that we have a team here, and I like each member. I'm there has to be someone I dislike, and I generally like all four, which is just shocking to me. But outside of if anyone ever saw me at any event or when I was in the pub, they would think you cunt. Generally, I don't know. I'm just a son of a bitch. We'll get off topic. What were we fucking talking about? Fucking your fault for bringing up Zack Ryder. You asked for that.
I was going to say, look, why not try to put together Apollo Crews with Mojo Rawley? Because I really don't see Mojo Rawley as a single star. And Apollo Crews, hell, it can't hurt him at this point to give him something else to do. And I was like, it can't get any worse for either of these two. So why not take a risk on this and see if it goes somewhere?
Well, what's the worst that can happen?
Exactly.
What is the worst that can happen?
That's what I'm saying. What's the worst that can happen? They're not going to win. Oh, they're not going to get any championships. Oh, they're not going to go. Dude, they're not going anywhere as it is already.
Just fucking team him up with anyone. But the thing is with Vince, if you know, he just, when he looks at Crews, he just expects him to be over when he walks out because he was an indie guy. Newsflash, he wasn't really that much of a big indie guy. And I'm shocked the guy got brought up. He was brought up mega early. That guy should be way down in NXT right now. He should be with Ty Dillinger in that kind of mix right now. Not up in the main roster doing nothing.
But here's the reality that we're in. He's there. You got to deal with it.
I guarantee you this time next year that boy will be released. I reckon. My prediction is he'll be released this time next year, and he'll be killing it on the indies.
That's a pretty good possibility because I usually don't get the spring clean until after Mania.
And I think it was Andy Paps in the comments, I will not be saying the racist joke on air there wasn't racist, it was a World War II joke. I will not be saying that live on air because I don't want to wake up to see, okay, you're fired from Mr. Dave Koco in my fucking email. No, thank you very much.
Oh, please. Koco ain't got any room. He wrote a book about child molesters getting murdered by people in luchador mask.
Yeah, but that's different. That was him writing it. That's his book. Okay. It's different.
All right, but back on track here. Let's get back on track. Afterwards, Renee Young goes in to interview The Miz and ask him about his obsession with Dean Ambrose. The Miz just smirked and said, "Oh, my obsession? Oh, what about your obsession with Ambrose? Because after all, you're the one sleeping with him." And I think everybody in the whole fucking arena just went, "Ooh." and then you just saw Young just kind of take a step back, and it's like, and then just slapped the Miz, then walked out of the ring, yanked off her, her IFB, and just stormed out. And I was like, wow. I mean, even the announcers acted like they were shocked, because even Tom Phillips was like, okay, let's collect ourselves here, and hey, one of the Hype Bros is hurt. Yeah, and now it's going to be real quick before we go any further here. What did you think about this little segment? I loved it. I thought it was great because, I mean, you see on Total Divas, Renee Young has made a relationship with Dean Ambrose no secret. It's no secret to the people who follow the dirt sheets. I mean, if you're kind of out there, if you're on the interwebs, you know about their relationship, but it has never been addressed. You've never seen these two together, in terms of like
WWE produced television that isn't a reality show.
Exactly. You've seen her like interview him, and it's seen. You wouldn't, if you didn't know any better, you wouldn't know that they were an idol. So in those terms, no. But outside, and it's like, how come nobody's brought this? And the Miz just brings it up, and I think
that's what. Sorry to cut you off. That's what made it that much more special, because it's never brought up. Like, believe it or not, last week I was very sick and I couldn't do NXT, couldn't do the Lucha Underground review, and I was like, there's no more weekly things, and it was like, I was sick, I was ill in bed, nothing to do, so I put Total Divas on. The recap and review of Total Divas boosted our subscriber numbers by a few. That shocked me. That if Total Divas reviews is what you want and it boosts the subscriber number up, I'll fucking review Total Divas every week, because it wasn't actually that bad. Mm-hmm. But with that being said, I moan about the interviewers, whatever their names are. I call them robots quite a lot. Like Mean Gene Okerlund back in the day, he had character. He had an important character and a role. And now with Renee Young, hopefully she can develop some kind of character. Be a human being with a natural reaction instead of feeling like a robot who's being told to say this stupid ass question. I absolutely love this. I hope they don't go over the top and have Renee Young come out as this on-screen heir with Dean Ambrose. Keep her as what she's doing, but have her interview The Miz next week. Make it a Miz TV with Renee Young, or just make her be a character like Mean Gene Okerlund. Because now when Renee Young interviews Cena, we know it's Ambrose's wife or girlfriend, whatever the fuck they are. It'll just be a bit more interesting. And I absolutely adored that, and it was my favorite segment of the night. With fucking Renee Young and The Miz, who would have ever thought that?
I enjoy that. Oh, and let's see. One thing I was alluding to here is because of the injuries to the Hype Bros, next week they're going to have it's going to be like a four corners elimination match. It's going to be the Wyatt family versus American Alpha versus Heath Slater and Rhino versus the Usos. So what do you think about this substitution? Better, worse?
What do you think? I despise, literally, I would rather iron my hands than think of the concept of the Hype Brothers being the SmackDown Tag Team Champ. I would rather iron my hands live on air than that fucking bullshit. I hate Mojo Rawley. I despise that dirty scumbag Zack Ryder over because of his YouTube show. I've just had enough of talking about them. They get far too much airtime over it. They get literally the most talked about person on this show is fucking Zack Ryder every fucking week.
So in other words, you think this decision, the substitution to have this four-way elimination match is a better idea?
Oh yes. You could have substituted. You could have substituted this with Tajiri and Funaki, and I would have been a much happier person. You could have substituted them with fucking Shining Stars, and I would be ecstatic. I would be jumping around with my fist pump. We did a professional show where we said Zack Ryder was injured. You should have saw the dance I had when I walked in back into the house. There was a special spring in my step. I made myself a cup of tea. I didn't have 2 sugars because it was such an occasion. I had 3 with a caramel digestive biscuits. Last week was my night. My prayers have been answered. Zack Ryder no longer on my TV screen. All we need now is for Vince McMahon to retire, and my 2016 is complete. Thank you. There is a Lord up there. I believe.
All right. Next we go to, oh God, there's been a lot of questions in television. Who shot JR? Who shot Mr. Burns? Who attacked Nikki Bella? So they bring Natty out there, Natalya, to go out there and tell her side of the story, and Nikki comes out, and then they're interrupted quickly by Carmella, and they, in first, it's like, it's like, well, you brought up the relationship with Cena, called her a liar, and asked Nikki if the silicones had been traveling up to her brain. I like that line, by the way. And she reminded, and basically, it was finally, she kept saying, it wasn't me, it wasn't me. Then Carmella's like, if it was me, I'd have been bragging about it. It was Natty. She's a liar. Remember all the things she told me about how, you're not that good. I mean, just all kinds of cool things. I mean, just amazing. It just finally, Natty had enough and said, it's like, this is on you. This is your fault. You're the cause of this. And chased her up the rampway, threw into a Christmas tree and gifts. Carmella fought her off, scampered away. Then Natalya grabbed the microphone, turned back towards Nikki, and said, "I did it, you bitch." In fact, she used the word bitch twice. I like that. There was a little bit more impact with it. I mean, it's just like, oh, PG.
It was such a good promo. I wrote every fucking word she said down. Like the conviction in her voice, the way she was saying it, magnificent. And I very rarely do this because Booms is the guy who breaks it all down when we're on. I'm gonna read you her promo.
Okay, go for it.
She goes, "All right, I did it, you bitch. I have always despised you. I'm a heart. That makes me better than you. You got handed everything because you're beautiful, not because you're talented." She says she is nothing, and that is the pure and only reason why John Cena will never marry you. Unbelievable promo from a woman who I thought stunk at promos. I generally thought, like, okay, it's Natalya, she's a goofball. Great worker, but that was brilliant. Whoever produced this segment, generally great job. This got Natalya over as a mega heel. It even slightly turned Carmella a bit face because, she was telling the truth the whole time. Nikki Bella now, I want to see her versus Natalya. I am pumped for a Nikki Bella match. Insane. Like, it can be done. This was brilliant. This segment was better than 3 hours and 15 minutes of Monday Night Raw last night. It was brilliant. It got people over. It got me excited for a match. It was just fucking out of this world. Great job. What are your thoughts?
I thought it was a really good promo. Now, I think it was I think maybe they missed an opportunity just to have, Natty go, well, okay, it was me. I was lying about it after all. I think it would have been more interesting had it been someone else and they tried to frame Natty. I think that would have been a lot more interesting. But I think the promo that she cut more than made up for it. If this would have been on Raw, this would have been inexcusable because they would have went with the obvious route, and that would have been the end of it. There wouldn't have been this promo. But this promo, it gave her a reason to do it. I mean, you could just hear just the venom in her voice, even breaking out the B word a couple of times, which I think had more of an impact because, they don't cuss pretty much, not all that often on WWE. So this made it have a little bit more impact. There was a reason for the way that she felt. I like how she finally went back, admitted it right there with Carmella. It's like, well, those are the things I told you in private and felt betrayed. And just, it was amazing. So good on her. And I hope this leads to something a little bit better down the road. I want to see this match. I want to see this match now.
And it's brilliant that every woman on this roster is doing something, and you're actually emotionally attached to Carmella. You're emotionally attached to Natalya now. Emotionally attached to Nikki the Whore. You're emotionally attached to Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch. They're all doing something on this program. It's a fucking division. Same as the tag team division. Everyone's doing something. Minus the Hype Bros who are now out of action. It's perfect. Like, generally, SmackDown is the A show. Next week, I don't care. It's Boxing Day over here. I repeat, will not be reviewing Monday Night Raw. I refuse to. But I'll be reviewing SmackDown Live.
What exactly is, I've heard of it, but what exactly is Boxing Day? I know it's the day after Christmas.
It's just that. It's just that. It's basically, it's where, you see your other half of the family. I don't tend to do that. I just take it as a day off. I can spend with my family. Like, I have my mum's side of the family who I absolutely adore, and I have my dad's side of the family who can give, minus my nan and granddad, they can suck my fucking English cock. Like, I want like literally live on air, open invitation. My dad, you see that iron? I would iron his hands. I would legit live on air iron his hands. My stepdad's brilliant. He's amazing. He's a legend. My mum's amazing, and I love her to pieces. Girlfriend's amazing. Everyone else is amazing. But my real dad's side of the family, dude, something went wrong down the line with the genes. This is where I get my anger and hatred from. It was like he was Zack Ryder's friend, and I just betray him because of it. Like, do you want to come hang around with me and my friend Zach? I hate people with the name Zach. Like, it's literally that. If you are called Zach, I don't know.
That's Sammy's real name.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's so. You shouldn't. And there's a guy who always comments and sends me tweets. Sort of Zachary. He's on Facebook.
Zachary Watts, love him. Favorite here on the internet.
Yeah, yeah, me too. So that was a joke. I just got a bit off track. You know what I get like when I talk about Zach Ryder? He can be like the curse word, but you have like a buzzer button. It's like brr, brr. It's every time the word fucking comes up.
Wow, I've learned way too much about you. Okay. All right. Next, we have there's a little backstage segment. Daniel Bryan on the phone. Alexa Bliss limped in. She was trying to get out of a title match. Daniel Bryan said, well, you better get in there. Trainer said you're 100% complete, and if you don't, I'm going to strip you the championship. So she had to walk out, and there you go. So I like that. By the way, can I just say that Alexa Bliss completely stealing the show since she got called up?
That's we're doing our Triforce Awards. I think in the group chat sometime next week.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, she has to be up nominated for one of these awards. Well, she damn deserves them. We'll fucking create the Alexa Bliss Award for next year. Unbelievable. Unreal. This time last year, if you told me she would be women's champion, I would be absolutely ecstatic about that. I would have laughed in your face, spat to you, and told you and blocked you. I would have blocked you for saying that on Twitter. But that is just a testament to how great she is. And imagine this time next year, how much better she will be. Unreal. I bet you she gets drafted to Raw. And
then she gets her career destroyed.
Exactly, because that's what Vincent Cuntady McMahon does. He ruins people. He ruins my life. He probably ruins yours and everyone listening.
That's what their tagline needs to be. Monday Night Raw, where careers go to die.
And lives ruined. God, sounds like a great TV show.
All right, so we get to a match here. Dean Ambrose versus Luke Harper. Good back and forth. Man, Luke Harper, by the way, can I just say that I think he is the most underrated, underappreciated star on SmackDown. I mean, this guy is a freaking diamond in the rough. I mean, this is somebody who is completely overlooked, but when you put it down pound for pound, I mean, the guy can go. He can go in the ring. He can get it done. I mean, he did that sidewalk slam, that torture rack-like maneuver. I like that sit-down power bomb. Ambrose kicked out of that. Oh, I liked it when he picked up Ambrose, threw him like a fucking lawn dart into the second turnbuckle. Yeah. Ambrose somehow stayed on his feet. Harper super kicks him, and Ambrose goes flying to the outside. I was like, shit. That was fucking brutal. Then there was a spot where Ambrose was trying to dive on to Luke Harper, but instead missed and hit the other two members of the Wyatt family, Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. He goes back in the ring. Ambrose, about to say, who won that? No, wait a minute. Yeah. Ambrose rolled up Harper.
Ambrose rolled a roll up.
Yeah, with that 3 count. Sorry, I was like trying to remember where I was in this match, but yeah, he rolled him up with a cradle. Got the 1, 2, 3. Immediately, the Wyatt family go on the attack. They hit him with that new version of Sister Abigail, where Bray Wyatt just throws you right to the RKO. The lights go out. Ambrose is trying to collect himself. He's trying to pull himself up. The Miz's music hits. He goes into the ring, picks up Ambrose, hits him with a skull-crushing finale, and leaves him laying. And I was like, that right there, that's good storytelling. That is good storytelling. I love how they did that. I kind of wish they would have had Renee Young either come out there or say something about it. Maybe she will on Talking Smack. Maybe she will. Maybe, I got to check that on the network a little bit later, but I love that. Real quick, there's another point I want to make, but what did you think about this whole segment? I love how they told the story. They told a great story.
It got the Wyatt family over. You protected Ambrose because he got the win. Harper got the beatdown afterwards. Miz looked like a respectable threat. And you set up Ambrose versus Miz down the line. Just simple. And it was a good match where Harper got over because, well, it didn't get over. He showed the world how fucking good he is of a worker. And he is an absolutely...
He had a great match last week. He had a great match this week. That's why I'm saying he's a diamond in the rough.
I agree. And Ambrose is normally a guy we come in here and say, yeah, he's a bit... He plays it safe. But here, I think he really gave to Harper. Like, he gave a lot of offense in this match to Harper. So I appreciate that, Mr. Dummy Dean Ambrose. But it looked like he put a bit of effort in as well, which is a crazy one. And what was your second question?
My second point is, I hope people don't take me the wrong way here, but I think this show actually kind of exposed how thin the SmackDown roster is, because you had Dean Ambrose fighting for the WWE Heavyweight Championship against AJ Styles, failed at that. Then you had Dolph Ziggler losing the Intercontinental Championship against The Miz, failing to regain it in their latest title bout. And instead of like moving other people in the spot, all they did was switch them. They moved Ambrose down to the Intercontinental title hunt, and then Ziggler up to the heavyweight title hunt, which makes no sense to me. But I'm like, well, who the fuck else have they got? So I really think they need to start calling up some people, Samoa Joe, up to SmackDown to kind of get a little bit more balance, because right now it's not. I mean, the pickings are slim. It's almost like a wasteland at the top.
Yeah, so what happens when you lose half your fucking like Cody Rhodes could have been on SmackDown, Wade Barrett could have been on SmackDown, Ryback could have been on SmackDown, but they lost them all because they booked them like shit. Alberto Del Rio could have been on SmackDown. I think Alberto Del Rio was on SmackDown. Imagine if you had those 4 guys in there right now. You know, you could have pushed Alberto Del Rio because he's a former world champ. Ryback, you could have pushed him IC title level. Cody Rhodes, you could have pushed him. Who else did I say in that list? Oh, I didn't even give a fuck. Wade Barrett. IC champ mid-carder. You got a decent mid-card division, so the guys in mid-card could move up. Simple. But they let him go. Well, they didn't let him go. They left because they don't want to work for Vince McMahon, and I don't blame them. Like, literally, even if Vince offered me multi-million dollars, and I legit mean this from the bottom of my heart, if Vince came up to me and says, okay, you English twat, I will offer you $2.5 million a year. Come work for me. Just do as I say. I would say no. I would turn the money down and go with pride. He would then find a hitman to shoot me, but I would go out in pride. I would not work for this company, no matter how much they would have paid me. Doing anything. I wouldn't do hosting, talking smack. I wouldn't do what that Sam Roberts, Jabron, whatever this guy name is. And I don't want to insult the guy because I don't know nothing about him. And that's all honesty. So that insult wasn't intentional. I don't want to do anything like that. Even if we got to like 60 million subscribers, I would do nothing. I wouldn't have an advert on WWE television. I would do nothing. I think this company is dirty, scummy company. And I think it's just disgraceful. And I'm happy that people leave this place. I want every other promotion to skyrocket 2017 and W to just go out of business. I just, like, next week on Raw, I'm taking a week off Raw because it's the 52nd week in a row I'm going to be watching Raw, and enough's enough. I can't do next week's Raw. If it's anything like last week's, I can't, but I'll be doing SmackDown. But I don't even know where I'm not on a tangent mode tonight. I'm going off on tangents about everything. I don't even know where I fucking was.
Let's see. Next, we're going to go to the women's match. It was Alexa. By the way, commentary did something incredibly fucking stupid this week. Alexa Bliss comes out. I remember she's got her entrance. She's coming out there. She's taking off stuff. She's getting ready to get in there. It's like, Alexa Bliss, she's going to have a match here if she chooses to compete. I'm like, of course she's chose to fucking compete. She's getting in the goddamn ring. She's dressed. She's ready to go. There's no question about this. There is no question. But she wound up taking on someone named La Luchadora. And hang on, everybody. Just bear with me here. It was a woman in a purple mask, blue bodysuit with a red, I don't know, red tights or something on there. La Luchadora claimed to be the great-granddaughter of Mil Mascaras from Guadalajara, Mexico. Rolled around in the ring. even hit like this body scissors. Was trying to lock her down to like a dragon sleeper. Hit some diving forearms. Then rolled around and hit her in the disarmor. Alexa Bliss taps out. La Luchador goes crazy around the ring and then takes off her mask. And it turns out to be Becky Lynch. Bliss is just completely just flabbergasted with that. So I thought this was a good match because I mean I knew it was Becky within the first 30 seconds because I was like, why are they completely? Oh, because if they show her hair, I mean it's a dead giveaway. So they're going to try to hide her hair as much as possible. And I will give her a props, man, because she changed up her offense just a little bit, almost like a luchador style. You know, and it kind of, I mean, I was like, okay, she changed up her style a little bit here. It had me almost second guess at my pick that it was Becky Lynch, but I think it was a wonderfully done segment, and I think it has a great build for their title match next week.
What I loved about it more was there was legit thought and effort put into this. Like last night's Raw was, I don't want to talk about it. There was just no effort. It was just nothing. Someone sat down, had a piece of paper, and actually brainstormed some ideas to make me excited for the pay-per-view. Even if things don't work, I would rather them be tried and tried and tried different things. Like this was different. We haven't seen this in a very long time. It was great seeing them put effort in. It was great seeing them put effort in. And that's what I care about. You know, people say, oh, well, on Twitter yesterday, there was a guy, and he was like, oh, why'd you watch TNA? Because they put effort into their product. You know, I love and respect effort. It looked like a writer sat there and put effort and thought into this program. Unbelievable. Unreal. Great segment. I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm looking forward to their match next week. The next, Ryan Felipe, he's the star of a Shooter. He had a little backstage segment where he was looking for Randy Orton, but instead he bumped into Mojo Rawley and Kurt Hawkins, and then they just kind of jogged back and forth. This led to a match between Kurt Hawkins and Mojo Rawley. It was a pretty standard match. Mojo Rawley hitting like a pounce, just a bunch of splashes in the corner. Forearm, and then gets the pin, and then so Raleigh invites in Felipe, and they kind of go crazy. They start celebrating, and that's pretty much all there was to it.
It was like my notes.
To me, this is where the show kind of dipped because I was like, I understand they're trying to promote the network, and you know it's a guest star role, and let's just have some fun with it. But I was just like, yeah, this is a little over the top even for me.
My notes. Some skinny guys looking for Orton. He walks into the Cunt and Kurt Hawkins. The Cunt and Hawkins have a promo war. Mojo beat Hawkins. That's my notes. Please don't watch this. If you have a remote control or if you're watching online, fast forward the fuck out of that. Not worth the time. And who is that guy? The skinny dude who did commentary. Because last week I got shouted out in the comments for calling that guy a fat fuck because I didn't know who he was. Apparently
You talking about Tom Phillips?
No, not Tom. Tom Phillips ain't fat. I called him fat fuck the Gabriel Zayas.
Gabriel Iglesias. He's a Mexican comedian.
Yeah, I got a lot of heat for that. Apparently I hate on fat people, and I despise fat people. Apparently, just because I said Kevin Owens should get into shape and a fat guy. Unbelievable.
I like Gabriel Iglesias. He does some pretty good stand up. I don't know if you've ever heard his stuff, but he's actually pretty good. He talked about like the 5 different stages of fat. I haven't heard this one, so it was like healthy, husky, chubby, flabby, and damn.
Dude, you're going to be the one with heat this week with that fat joke. Jeez, people are so sensitive these days.
That's his material.
Hey, don't shout the messenger boy. Don't shout the messenger boy.
Let's see. Then we have Dasha Fuentes. She goes outside the trainer's locker room saying that James Ellsworth had to be taken to a quote-unquote local medical facility. Why can't you just say fucking hospital? Anyway, he comes out and he's got two boots on, a sling, a neck brace, ice on his shoulder, a wrist brace, and he can't talk because he's in pain. And Dasha Fuentes keeps asking him questions. Eventually, Carmella comes up and just shoos off Fuentes and then goes, "Don't worry, I'll take care of you," and walk off. And now, to me, it was like me. I kind of hated it because it was so over the top, and I was like, "Dude, I understand. A lot of this stuff is staged. You got a suspense of disbelief, but this is ridiculous." And then they had the Carmella thing, and I'm like, "This is kind of stupid. It makes no sense." But I want to see where it's going because obviously, this arc with the story arc between, Carmella, Nikki, and Natalya has ended. So the focus needs to be between Nikki and Natty. So Carmella has nothing to do, and then now James Ellsworth has gotten his shot. He lost the championship match, so he's not going to be in the championship picture. He needs something else new to do. I was like, well, what do they have for these two to do? And I'm actually I'm not saying it's going to be great. I'm just saying I want to kind of see where they're going with it.
Yeah, I mean, it gets them out of the world title picture, I guess. So maybe that's where they are going with this. It's not going to be the Miz or anything, and he's going to be fucking chucked down to Carmella. I pray to God that they ain't going to fuck up Carmella now, because I thought her heel run was pretty decent. Hope they don't turn in her face. But
she is the princess of Staten Island.
Oh, Jesus, start. Carry on.
She's so delightfully white trash. That's like Dave Koco's ideal girl.
Oh God,
love you, Dave. All right, next we go to the main event for the evening: Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin. The winner is going to take on AJ Styles for the WWE Championship next week. They had a pretty good match, but they fucked it up at the end. They fucked it up at the very, very end. And it was like it was going so well. It was Ziggler puts on great matches. I don't care what you think about him. Ziggler can make anybody look good. I mean, look at Baron Corbin. I hate Baron Corbin. I don't think he belongs there. I don't think I think the only and I've said this multiple times, and I'll say it again, the only reason he is on WWE right now is because he's an NFL washout, and Vince McMahon can masturbate to his photos. That's it. That's the only reason. He has no charisma. He's not that good in the ring. In fact, he can't wrestle. He's barely capable of wrestling anything over 5 minutes. The only reason he lasted as long as he did because they put him in there with Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler could job to a broomstick and make it look convincing. And he was in there with a 7-foot broomstick tonight. I did like the shot, the STO. I like the end of days. Then they do something dumb. They throw Ziggler to the outside, and Corbin goes after him, breaks up the count, goes back after him, and then throws him into AJ. Well, at this point, this is why everybody looks stupid. Ziggler looks stupid because he didn't have to have this match. He didn't have to put his title shot on the line. Yeah, he could have had the match, but he didn't have to put his title shot on the line. So he looks stupid for even doing that. Corbin looks stupid because he knows if he can beat Ziggler, he gets a title shot next week against AJ Styles, but instead he loses track of all damn time and gets counted out. So, and I'm like, everybody looks fucking stupid here. And then so AJ, collects himself. He gets up there and he starts beating the shit out of everybody with a chair. And so then Daniel Bryan comes out and turns it to a triple threat. Oh wow, that's original. That's really fucking shocking. But I think the reason why they're doing that is I think they need somebody to eat the pin, and that's going to be Corbin, because if Ziggler eats another pin, he's losing what little credibility he gained back once they did the brand split. He's losing that right now because I thought he had about saved it when he put his career on the line and won the Intercontinental Championship, but he lost it back. But he lost it again, lost it back to The Miz, lost the rematch. He's now for some reason got himself into a championship feud against AJ Styles, which I know he got lucky and won like a 4-way. But now, he puts his championship opportunity on the line where he doesn't have to. And Corbin, gets counted out, knowing all this is on the line, picks a fight with the champion, and gets the shit beat out of him. I'm like, dude, everybody looked fucking stupid. Everybody.
I mean, I'm just thinking, if Ziggler takes the fall, You know, he has no credibility. You can't have Corbin take the fall. He's been on a roll. He has been on a fucking roll. It would damage him a lot to take the fall. I can't see either Corbin or Ziggler winning the belt. I'll be very, very shocked if one of them wins the belt. But with that being said, fuck this main event. It's more about what will the Royal Rumble WWE title match be? Will it be AJ versus Ziggler? Because Ziggler's owed a one-on-one match. Will Ziggler be the one who took the fall, so Corbin gets the title shot? Or do we have Ambrose is with Miz? So, you know, Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, do they lose their tag titles? And then Randy Orton and Bray get a WWE title shot? And it's a three-way? You know, will Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt work together with the WWE title on the line? You know, what are they going to do? That is my question to everyone. And obviously you can answer Booms on air, but what will be the WWE title match at the Royal Rumble?
It's going to have to be Ziggler. Because, I mean, you can't really have heel on heel. At least you want to try to avoid it.
I mean, that would be the logical solution, but I just see that it's really difficult, and I hope they have a plan. And with SmackDown, I'm a little bit less, you know, nervous about this because, you know, The Undertaker could come back. You know, there's lots of talk about Shawn Michaels, these fucking morons, thinking Shawn Michaels is going to wrestle AJ Styles at the Rumble. That was funny. I mean, Ziggler and AJ, Rumble? I don't really know. Orton and Wyatt stuck in the tag title picture. Maybe they're going to go with that and have them lose the tag belts on next week's SmackDown Live. Maybe. And have them in the world title picture and have Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton versus AJ in a triple threat. And then you could tell the story of Orton and Bray. Will they work together? Who knows? Who fucking knows? Who really cares?
All right, let's do some comments real quick. Then we're going to have to go here. So I'm going to start at the top. I'm just going to take questions here. Do you guys like the new Raw Tag Team Championships? They're like the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, except for they're red, so I guess.
So lazy. So fucking lazy. Do you remember back in the day, Boomers, when they had the WWE Tag titles and the World Tag Team titles, where they're both different?
Mm-hmm. Yep, beyond lazy. Should WWE only have 4 pay-per-views and the rest be network exclusives? I think this is from Andy Paps. From what I've read, I think they might start making every pay-per-view like joint pay-per-views because they really haven't been like a huge uptick in ratings on like this on the brand exclusive pay-per-views, but they've had pretty good ratings and buy rates for like the main pay-per-views, you know, like Rumble, Mania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. So they may just stick with that. I think that's what I would do. And Dragon Rider, thank you. He likes my hat. He also says James Ellsworth needs to get his ass out the door and stay out. All right. LK, do you think of ITV bringing back World of Sport? Will you be reviewing it? I have no idea what that means.
Yeah, so World of Sport, which used to be the British weekly television show on ITV3 and ITV1. ITV1 is channel 3 in the whole of the TV. So everyone who owns a TV, this will be on their 3rd channel. Major channel. Like USA Network major. They got a World of Sport program. They got some great wrestlers on there. I will be reviewing it. It won't be live after it airs because I know it's sometime during the afternoon. I do my shows at night because I don't want to, disturb the neighbors or anything like that. So it will be at night, but I will be, you have my word, that I will be reviewing the World of Sport episode on Christmas. And I'm excited for it. I'm excited.
Okay. Should WWE move 205 Live to Full Sail University? I'd say keep them out there on the road.
These shows are dying because of the crowd. These crowds are killing this show. The crowd, it's like me and Raston talked on the Roadblock or Armageddon review, whatever the fuck you want to call it. We were saying that the cruiserweights back in WCW got over because it was spot. So the crowd are going, yes. Now with the 205, it's spot. So the crowd are going, yeah. Instead of going spot. Yeah. This is awesome. And then you get the guys over. And then after that one spot fest, you'll be going, who's that guy? And then they go, that guy, Cedric Alexander, just had a spot fest. He will be facing Rich Swann at the pay-per-view. Oh, okay, interesting. I'll give that a watch. Then have a 15-minute match where they sell. Simple. How fucking brain surgeon am I? Jesus Christ. So simple.
Again, I'm looking for just questions here. Oh, well, Rennie Solomon brought this up, not me. He says, I'm very excited that you guys are going to have the producer of Lucha Underground on tomorrow night to review this week's episode. I'm going to ask a ton of good questions. Very excited indeed. Yes, Krista Joseph. He's the co-executive producer for Lucha Underground. For some reason, he's going to join us, so I'm taking full advantage of this. I've already got my questions already lined up. I got to talk with LK and Sammy. We're going to try to put something together here to make it coherent. Of course, we'll take your questions, so have everything ready to go. We'll go live after the show airs.
So legit, as soon as Lucha Underground finishes, we'll be live on it. We'll be about 10 minutes later by the time we set up and introduce ourselves. Yeah, so it was really simple. It was just he was following me on Twitter, so I just sent him a Twitter DM. It really was nothing extravagant.
Let's see. Kurt Hawkins versus Mojo Rawley. The battle to see who, buzzer noise for Zack Ryder's name, better tag team partner, or would it be worst tag team partner?
It won't be worse tag team partner than Zack Ryder.
Let's see. I'm from, and this is from APAPS. I'm from Brooklyn. We dump our trash on Staten Island. Okay, that makes more sense. Rumor has it the Rumble WWE title match will be AJ versus Undertaker. Why? Because part-timers. Yeah, I hope not. I have a sinking feeling that WrestleMania will be Cena versus Undertaker. Cena gets to tie Ric Flair and retire the Undertaker. All right, I think that's going to do it. That's everything. I want to thank everybody for joining. I'm reading all the comments, by the way, but thank you for everybody who commented. As we mentioned, we'll be live after Lucha Underground with co-executive producer Krista Joseph. We've got a RAW review in the can. We're going to have an NXT review sometime in the next few, after it airs eventually. Thursday, we'll have a TNA review.
No, I don't think there's an episode of TNA this week, Booms. I don't think there's TNA this week. I'm doing that's the point. I'm doing a New Japan Road to Tokyo Dome 17th of December 2016 show review with the guys from Wrestle Talk SOS on Thursday. So looking forward to that. So check that out. Last time we got nearly 2,000 views on the Wrestle Talk SOS New Japan review. So come along, 2,000 people. Let's watch that again. Yeah,
let's do it. I'm getting hyped up for Wrestle Kingdom 11.
I'm not watching anime. I do apologize. I will not be. I'm tempted. Send me that link again and just really bug me about it, and then I'll just watch it. If you send me a link to the show,
I already sent it to you guys. All right, I'll send it again. But there's an anime out called Tiger Mask W. Right now you can only get it in Japanese with English subtitles. It features a ton of New Japan like wrestlers. I'm not talking as like little cameos. I'm talking like Okada and Nagata, or like regular characters on there. I've seen Hanma, Maccabi, Big Bad Luck Fale, Tamatonga made cameos on there. Tanahashi has become somewhat of a regular character on there. There's a ton of New Japan references. There's some shots at WWE. And it's gonna. And
whoa! Sorry, you never explained to me there was shots at W. Now I'm interested. Anyone that takes shots at W, I'm interested in.
It's not blatant, but if you kind of look there, you can kind of see the shots at WWE. And plus, there's two characters on there: Tiger Mask W, the titular character, and then Tiger the Dark. Those are the two characters in that, and those two are going to have a match at Wrestle Kingdom. I'm not joking. I'm not making this up. It's on the card. You can look it up.
Yeah,
there's going to be a match between, and this is basically kind of showing like the build. This is the build up to their match at Wrestle Kingdom.
That's brilliant. W would never do anything that good. Unbelievable. Speaking of good, I'm pumped for Wrestle Kingdom. I'm mega pumped. I might review Wrestle Kingdom live after it airs. I might stay up, do an all-nighter, and watch it live after it airs because I'm pumped. I'm so pumped for Omega versus Okada. I think that's going to be brilliant. I'm just really pumped and excited. And I love how they're promoting this on Twitter. They're really going balls at the wall for it. Every time I fucking scroll down, I see a promoted advert from New Japan promoting New Japan World. So get your New Japan subscriptions right now to watch Wrestle Kingdom live. And English commentary. People use the excuse I don't like commentary. There'll be English commentary on there. And if you don't know how to order in your English, Dave about a year ago did how to order New Japan for English folk or for American, for English, wherever you live. So just go over there and just click Google Translate to English on newjapanworld.com. Simple as that. So Booms, wrap this bad boy up, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow.
All right, I want to tell everybody to check us out, KocoSports.com, KocoSports.com. It's your home for combat sports, where the world goes to kick ass, and most importantly, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. You can also check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Make sure to like, subscribe to us, and we will see you later. So this is Booms for the rest of the Koco crew saying the Boom just went bang, and I am out.